there. This is Terry with your Eclipse Portal reading beginning on April 19th with that new moon in Aries. The Eclipse Portal is opening. Take a deep breath. And so it begins. And we are already soaking in this energy of this eclipse portal right now. And this new moon Aries solar eclipse will then wax into a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And what do Aries and Scorpio have in common? Scorpio's original ruler is Mars. And Aries is ruled by Mars. So we have a lot of this Mars warrior, intense ambition, moving forward, momentum, energy, that warring planet that rules both Aries and Scorpio. This eclipse month will be a force to be reckoned with. Even as Mars right now is in Gemini, where Mars is more strategic and less volatile. But still this month, be careful because tempers can flare under these two Aries, Scorpio warring zodiac signs naturally ruled by Mars. Of course, Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto, the great transformer, but originally Scorpio was ruled by Mars. And this is going to be an intense energy that we're already soaking in, and it's just a very disruptive energy. And we have 4 eclipses in 2023. This first one on April 19th at 9:12 p.m. if you're in the Pacific, where I live, but it could be April 20th depending where you live, and that will be a strong Aries 29 degrees, that critical point for the solar eclipse when the sun and moon come together. And May 5th we have a Scorpio lunar eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse at 14 degrees of Scorpio. And then this fall, we will have a solar eclipse on October 14th in Libra, 21 degrees, and a partial lunar eclipse on October 28th, just before Halloween, in Taurus. So those are all the eclipses for 2023. And we have so much to unpack here today with this new blue moon in Aries that's so significant. We've got Jupiter conjunct Eris. Look out. Everybody's favorite Mercury Retrograde starts just 2 days after this eclipse. And we also have this mystical, magical SABIAN symbol that is really asking us to strike a new chord, to make new beginnings, a new path forward, brand new techniques that are coming in to support us now. And we also, it's going to just be a 6-month-long eclipse portal, and we will be feeling the energies of this Aries Scorpio all the way until we get into fall, when we have then Taurus and Libra. So it's just going to be an ecstatic 6 months eclipse portal ahead. Look out, world. And if you can rise up, rise to the challenges that will be ahead of us, we will all be facing some challenges with this one, and just stay tapped in and turned on until the end of this bumpy ride adventure, this rebirth portal that we're in. Of course, all of last year we were in that death transformation rebirth, and now as we begin in Aries, we are really the baby taking its first steps. And sometimes when the baby takes its first steps, it goes running right into a wall and bangs its head. And if you know any Aries almost always have a scar on their head from the time that they crashed into a wall, because it is the ram, you know? So we're all going to be going so fast and with such forward momentum that we might not be paying attention, and there we could hit a wall, a big brick wall. And watch your head, mind your head. And I am also going to include some powerful herbal allies today at the end of this report that can really help you to maintain your equilibrium. Equilibrium, that's very Libra. And Libra is that dragon's tail. When we have the North Node in Aries, that South Node, dragon's tail of that eclipse, will be in Libra. So we'll really want to harness our Libra superpowers to get us through this eclipse portal. And I'm also going to do a little Shiva Lingam pendulum to clear the way for all of us to be able to move forward and release and let go anything that is not serving us as we enter the eclipse portal on April 19th. So stay tuned for that. And I tell you, I am wearing Ganesh. I've got my god Ganesh, the elephant, Hindu elephant god Ganesh, right by my side today, because life imitates astrology. I myself have been dealing with so many disruptions, so many obstacles as I am recording this. And of course, we've got that Mercury retrograde energy. We're already in the shadow, and then we're already soaking in this eclipse portal energy. And this eclipse portal does have a disruptive energy, and maybe you're experiencing some obstacles. I'd love to know if you have an obstacle or a disruption in your life and you want me to use my pendulum to energetically clear that disruption or that obstacle. Just leave a comment down below and I will clear whatever is obstructing you, because I know so many people are dealing with these kinds of obstacles, disruptions, and yeah, it's just kind of the flavor of this eclipse portal. And Ganesh is the elephant god that you can pray to remove any obstacles, to remove anything that is distracting you, disrupting you, or keeping you from moving forward on your path. It's like he takes the boulder off the path so then you can move forward. And honestly, the reason why Ganesh can remove those obstacles is because he is the one who put them there for you to learn life's big lessons, your soul lessons. So if you're coming up against obstacles, disruptions, this eclipse portal, just know that this is tapping in to your higher soul purpose, your life lessons, your raison d'etre, why you're here, the lessons you need to learn for your soul's growth and advancement. But you can, if it gets really tiring, you can pray to Ganesh. And I am invoking Ganesh just to be able to do this video, because yesterday we went out in nature. I really wanted to go out in nature to film, and it's just really early spring here in the Pacific Northwest. And we were faced with these Arctic blasts of wind just gushing, and we couldn't get the light right because the clouds were coming in and out, and everything was just going against us all day. And at some point, when you have a project and it's just not working out, you just have to surrender and say, it's just not going to happen today, right? And so we will be seeing that energy with this eclipse portal. And this month, when we have this Aries new moon, I got my little new moon fork here. This Aries new moon is a blue moon because we've had 2 Aries new moons in a row. If you remember, last month we did the new moon Aries astrology report. If you didn't watch that one, you might want to go back, because there's some really useful tips about the energy of the whole 2023 year, really. But 2 Aries new moons, Aries being that first sign of the zodiac, that brand new beginning, a new astrological year. When we get 2 Aries new moons in a row, this spells illumination, rebirth, reset, brand spanking new opportunities that can come your way, and a fresh new way forward. So many people are wanting to make a change and just do something totally different with their life, and maybe you're feeling this too. This is the energy of this Aries blue new moon solar eclipse. It's a very powerful momentum to put you onto a quantum leap into a whole new world that you can align with now. And whenever we have these two new moons in a row in the same sign of Aries, like we do this month, on the second new moon, it's like having a blue moon when you have two full moons in a single month, and it's extra special. And the universe is saying, pay attention to what is coming in now. And something spectacular is about to happen. So open your eyes and get outside, get out in nature. Even though we didn't film out in nature yesterday, we were out in nature, and it was so nice to just breathe in the fresh oxygen of the trees, and just walking and hiking and being near creeks or any water element. We have a lot of fire coming in this month, so if you can get out into nature and be around water, it will kind of balance the energy. And this energy of this very potent blue new moon in Aries with a solar eclipse in Libra is asking you to just get out of your slumber, shake off the slumber. It is time to wake up, open your eyes, get off your phone. And this eclipse portal is really beginning a kind of collective awakening. And a higher vibrational energy is coming in now. If you really tune in, and getting out in nature or just going out into your own yard and doing some earthing with bare feet in the ground is the best way to tap in to these higher vibrational energies that are coming in right now. And this double new moon that we have this month is a time to really revise your intentions that were set in the previous new moon. Maybe you thought you knew what you wanted, but it's changed. There's a shift, a huge energetic shift, a reset energy. And this is an opportunity for you to adapt your intentions to the changing circumstances. And perhaps a lot of things have changed even with the last month, because the energy is speeding up. And at this higher frequency, change is coming in quicker, just like those Arctic winds that just come and blast you and wake you up. And the change is coming quick. And if whatever you've been trying to do is not working, the energy of this second new moon in Aries is saying, try again, try a different way, or just let that intention go and make a new path, a new plan forward. And the plan keeps changing, right? Because what's meant for you will not pass you by. And if the thing that you want is not coming for you, perhaps it isn't meant for you. So it's time now with this new moon in Aries, this solar eclipse, to set a new intention or just tweak or adapt the intention you set last month. And this Aries new moon, this fire, it's gonna light a fire under you to motivate you. There's so much ambitious energy. It's all that Mars energy coming in, saying it is time to get moving forward. And the energy of this new karmic cycle coming with this eclipse portal is asking you to stand up for yourself and achieve your biggest goals, even if you are confronting the obstacles, the disruptors, an enemy or some kind of disruption. So if there's something that's keeping you from doing what you want or living the life you want, it's time to just be like that ram and just trudge forward, even if there are things in your way, and move forward beyond any power struggles. Just make it happen. And this eclipse portal we are entering will have this profound effect on us for the next 6 months. So if you are an Aries or a Libra, or if you have your North Node and South Node in Aries and Libra, you will be having the biggest quantum leaps forward. But you'll also be having the most obstacles and the most disruptors and the most struggles and perhaps power struggles with this eclipse portal with even, it's bringing in so much energy. And it's like I tell my Reiki students, when they get a Reiki attunement in a Reiki class, you receive a Reiki attunement that opens your heart chakra, and all this divine energy just pours into your body, and it brings you at this higher energetic frequency. But I always say it's not all rainbows and unicorns, because when you bring in this higher vibrational energy, it can create a healing crisis. Suddenly things are illuminated, and it's like when you open the windows on that spring day and the sun just pours into your house, and suddenly you see that there's dust on all of your furniture, and there's maybe some gray fuzzy things in the corner, and suddenly you've got to clean up your whole house. And that's what this Aries eclipse portal is like. It's like this higher vibrational fiery energy that's just going to pour in and illuminate everything we need to fix, every obstacle that's blocking our path forward, every disruption, every struggle. We're just going to see things so clearly if you can really open your eyes and take note of what's really going on in your life right now. You can make profound changes. And this Aries, the fierce warrior, tells you to feel the fear, but do it anyways. And Aries are just some of the bravest people I know. They're fearless. They will be the best stunt people, and they can just ride their BMX bikes right off a cliff, and there's no fear. So going forward this month, I want you to really embody that Aries warrior and take a fearless approach to overcoming those obstacles. And Aries, this fierce warrior, would sometimes bring his sister Eris into battle, and they were both fearless fighters, full of rage and righteousness and fighting for the people, power to the people. And this is a time, this eclipse portal, where you got to fight for your rights. I think we might see more strikes. I know like Rutgers College is having a profound strike at the moment, and more teachers, and I think we could see healthcare striking, nurses striking. Teachers and nurses are not being paid their worth for the intense amount of work that they are doing, and they really took a toll over the last few years. They were some of the hardest working people, frontline workers and teachers, and they deserve greater respect, and they deserve to make a living wage. And so we might see more even political things where people are fighting for the rights of the underserved, because that's very Eris. And we're going to talk about Eris conjunct Jupiter, which is going to expand the goddess Eris. And we are asked to be bigger now, to expand, to go beyond our current capabilities, to stop being small, stop playing small, and strive for something greater in your life. And what areas can you expand into your higher purpose with this powerful eclipse portal and make a real difference in this world and standing up to injustice? And we may see revolution, revolting, but also a time for healing our deepest wounds. Because remember, Chiron is also showing up in Aries, right there in that stellium of planets. We have so many planets. If you look at the chart at the beginning, they're all lining up in Aries. So many planets, including Eris. And so even as we are standing up for our rights and we're expanding, we're getting bigger, we've also got to take care of ourselves, heal our inner wounds, healer, heal thyself. And we're just all going to be really busy. We got a lot of work to do for the next 6 months, and Aries and Libra will be the busiest of all. But we all have Aries and Libra somewhere in our chart, somewhere in your houses. If you look at your astrology chart, if you've gotten your astrology chart, you can look to where is Aries and where is Libra and circle it, and really pay attention to those houses, because it's a good idea just to know where this eclipse portal will be hitting you personally. And for me, my Aries at 29 degrees is in my house of beliefs. and travel and education. So I'm really working on my own belief system and educating myself. I've been really wanting to read more lately and just expand my higher consciousness. And I'm doing an eclipse astrology sale for this whole portal for 6 months. I'm going to have this sale running on my website, and I'll put a link down below. And for $88, I will give you an astrology chart. You can see your chart, and I will tell you where all 4 eclipses will land for you, and I'll explain what that means. But if you have your astrology chart, maybe you've already had a reading and you know, then look to where Aries is and see what house, and look to where Libra is, and just leave it in the comments, and I'll tell you what that means for you and how this eclipse will be affecting you personally. But if you don't have an astrology chart, this sale is a really good time to get an astrology chart so you can see all your houses. And I rarely ever do these $88 chart sales. So normally it would be $233. So this is just an affordable way to get your charts. You can start following along and looking at where the houses are, and you'll want to take note of where is your Eris and where is your Jupiter lining up too, because those are coming in strong for this eclipse portal as well. And let's just get right into that. Jupiter conjunct Eris, the goddess of discord in Aries. This is really what's bringing the disruptions, the obstacles, why we're going to be praying to Ganesh to remove all the distractions and disruptions. It's Eris being expanded by the king Jupiter, who's got her back. And if you haven't heard this story, I want to read you the story of the goddess Eris, because she has been coming in so strong. She's exalted in Aries, and as the story goes, a hero named Peleus and a sea nymph, Thetis, had a magnificent wedding on Mount Olympus, and everyone was invited to this gala wedding except for the goddess Eris, whose name is also Discordia. It's where we get the word discord, right? We're all going to be feeling some discord this month. And shunning Eris turned out to be a huge mistake. And you can see why you wouldn't necessarily want to invite discord to your wedding. So I don't blame them. It makes sense that you wouldn't want to have discord at your wedding, but they should have invited Eris, because Eris created chaos at the wedding when she threw out a golden apple marked for the fairest of them all. And this is where we get that saying in Snow White when it says, the fairest of them all. And she put this golden apple at the dining table where all the goddesses were at this wedding at Mount Olympus. And 3 goddesses really believed it was for them, and they began to fight for the apple. And it was Athena, the goddess of wisdom, and Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, and Juno, the queen. And heated battle ensued over this golden apple. They were just fighting for it. It was really getting intense. And to settle this dispute, Jupiter, the king, Jupiter, king of the gods, he plucked a poor mortal off the road named Paris from a hillside, and he forced Paris to choose which goddess was the fairest of them all and which goddess should be awarded that golden apple. And all the goddesses were trying to bribe him. Athena said she would show him martial arts and he would be a powerful warrior. And Juno had a lot of political clout as the queen. But it was Venus who won him over after charming him with her beauty and love vibes. And she also promised to give him the love of his life. And so he chose love. And Paris was granted the most beautiful woman in the mortal world in return for awarding that golden apple to Venus, the goddess of love. Unfortunately, the woman that Paris chose was Helen of Troy, who was already married to King Menelaus. And when Paris ran off with Helen, all madly in love, that is when the Trojan War ensued. And it all began with Eris seeking revenge for not being included, for being shunned at this wedding. And so there is a theme running right now about those who are being excluded, who will rise up in revolt and create discord. And I think we're seeing that right now. We are in such a time of the haves and the have-nots, and this Jupiter conjunct Eris with an Aries eclipse just has revolution written all over it. And Eris is urging us all to just speak out, to take action, to make a change wherever you see any kind of inequality or anyone being left out or anyone being shunned. And we're in this time where we have this cancel culture, and I think the cancel culture would be really Eris getting fired up. Like, she wouldn't like that. And I also think Marianne Williamson's presidential campaign is the embodiment of this Eris conjunct Jupiter transit. As she ran in 2020, and she was practically shunned. She was not taken seriously, even though she may have been the candidate saying the smartest, most powerful things, even as she was giving this powerful message about huge transformation and the change we need to see. She is just challenging our broken down political system with a force of love and grace, unlike any other politician we've ever seen. And I just recently read this article by, I hope I say his name right, it's Rainier J. Liu, who sees Marianne Williamson as Eris. And so do I. And he wrote an article entitled Meet Eris, the goddess behind the force that is Marianne Williamson. And I love this quote from his piece. I'm going to read it. He said, "I think Marianne running is kicking up the unhealed parts of our country. And the goddess Eris story is extremely relevant to her campaign. When a truth teller enters the scene, she reveals the dark underbellies of the collective that many people would prefer to ignore." I will link to his article in the description if you want to learn more, but this is exactly what Eris does. She shows us our unhealed parts, our failings, our ego wounds, and she makes us deal with it by bringing chaos into our lives. The disruption, the discord that is so prevalent in our whole world right now. So put your seatbelts on and just prepare for some turbulence as this eclipse portal gets going, because Eris is coming for you, and she's going to find your unhealed parts and she's going to pull them up and create chaos out of them in your life. And just, if you know it's coming, I feel like you can handle it a little bit better. Whenever I do astrology readings and I see a hard aspect like this is a hard aspect, friends. I am just a truth-telling Scorpio. I don't sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you, listen, this transit, it's going to be hard. And I know there's a couple of you probably watching who have read your charts, and if you have that Aries Libra North Node, or you are an Aries Libra, this is gonna be a hard time. I can't sweeten a transit like this. And the best thing you can do is know where your Aries is, know your Libra, know your Eris, know your Jupiter. Where are all these Aries planets, Chiron and Aries? Where's it lining up for you? What house are you going to be feeling it? Because we are all going to be feeling it. And like I said, if you know what house your Aries is in, drop it in the comments. I'll tell you what that means for you. And this conjunction is going to have a different flavor for each and every one of us, if depending on which house it shows up for you. For me, Eris is digging up my deepest wounds about my beliefs. Man, yeah, that's some work I could do. And Eris is exalted in the 4th house of Cancer. And so if you have Eris in the 4th house, you will probably be feeling this Eris transit the most. You will be really empowered by it, but it could cause a healing crisis in the process. And so look out. We are all going to be feeling it. It's not like it's just on the day that Jupiter conjuncts Eris, which is April 21st. It's really going to be, we're going to be soaking in this transit all year. And on April 20th, right after this intense solar eclipse in Aries, we will have Sun squaring Pluto. And the Sun has just now moved into Taurus. His Sun was in Aries at 29 degrees for the eclipse, and then immediately moves into Taurus, 0 degrees. Now squaring Pluto. It's an exact square to Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And guess who that's going to affect? The fixed signs. So if you're a fixed sign, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, or Scorpio, on April 20th, you will be feeling this diamond making pressure. And we've become accustomed to it now because we've had so many Saturn and Uranus squares affecting the fixed signs, and now we got Pluto and the Sun squaring the fixed signs. So there can be a danger here of deep transformation that maybe you're not ready for. I think of, look out, Will Robinson. I just can't say much more about this square because as a Scorpio, I just want to put my blinders on and not think about it, but it's there. It's right there in the chart. Big old Sun square Pluto. So look out for that. I might just hide under the bed on April 20th, right after this eclipse. And then on April 21st, Mercury officially goes retrograde in Taurus. And what's that going to affect? Taurus is a fixed sign. I think this Mercury retrograde is going to affect the fixed signs. And this will just be adding fuel to this already disruptive fire we have with Eris and Jupiter and the Eclipse Portal. And being in an earth sign of Taurus, this Mercury retrograde is going to affect all the earthy things like farming, food production, weather, our environment, maybe shaking up some spring earthquakes, or even wildfires, volcanoes. I know in Australia, I think they're having the hugest cyclone ever experienced. And of course, Australia is right on that eclipse. They're where the eclipse is really stationed is Australia. And right now they're having this massive eclipse, they're having a massive eclipse, but they're having a massive cyclone, the likes that Australia has never seen. So we can have some really interesting weather patterns with this Mercury retrograde. And this is also a time because Taurus rules over our money. So pay attention to your bank accounts, pay attention to your credit cards, beware of fraud, get your, ducks in a row financially, pay off your debts if you can, and just paying attention. There can be more disruptions in our financial institutions, and really paying attention to your resources now so you will notice if anything happens. And this Mercury retrograde makes me think of that Einstein quote that says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And we're all being asked with all the energy of this month to find a new way forward. If what you've been doing over and over again, I said try again, but don't try the same way. If you failed doing it that way, find a new way forward, a new technique, a brand new path. And our old, outdated patterns aren't going to serve us going forward here. So this brings us just beautifully into the Sabian symbol for this Aries new moon solar eclipse. At Aries 29 degrees, we have the music of the spheres. And the key note here is an attunement to cosmic order. A brand new technique is being presented based on experiences implied in preceding symbols. Now we enter into a new realm of possibilities of action. There's brand new harmonic principles operating in a brand new realm. And the music of the spheres is the celestial embodiment of principles of polyphonic interplay. An individual advancing on the path should seek to understand and realize his place in the vast scheme of mankind's evolution. In an immense chord of the harmony of the universe. This message to all seekers of meaning found in this symbol is to listen now to your inner voice, to your inner harmony. And if it is the voice of the whole, of which one begins to realize that one is just a tiny little part, yet a significant part, for every note of this universal chord has its place and its divine meaning. And I'm really on a Marianne Williamson kick today, but this quote we all know is just so fitting for this eclipse. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And it is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. And we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Well, actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I love that for this Aries blue new moon solar eclipse portal. And I promised 2 herbal allies that I really want to share because I think this is the medicine we could all use right now. And the first one is Ravensara. And Ravensara is the most protective herb on the planet. It will protect you from those disruptions, the discord, the obstacles. And we will all be needing protection from the chaos and crazy coming with this portal. And I think of Ravensara as this golden dome of higher vibrational herbal energy that keeps out viruses, keeps out toxic emotions, and as a healer, I depend on this oil the most in my sessions to keep me clear of taking on other people's stuff, other people's pain, other people's negativity. And it also is a powerful protector against viruses, bacterial infections that seem to be really running rampant right now. And Ravensara is good for allergies, which can be our defenses. It really fortifies and strengthens our defenses against anything you're allergic to this spring. And Ravensara reduces anxiety. It helps you sleep better when you anoint your feet with it before bed. And Ravensara dispels negativity and evil, malefic entities. It is a powerful space clearing oil when diffused in a room, or placing Ravensara on a rag with cedar oil and then just, dusting all your furniture with Ravensara and cedar oil. And what I really love about Ravensara for these times is that it can clear your mind and just help you focus on higher, magical new moon intentions and life purpose. And it helps you step into being that greater self, like we were just talking about, to really fulfill your soul's purpose on the planet now. And honestly, after 24 years of doing massage therapy and Reiki, Ravensara may be the most powerful essential oil I've ever encountered. And I source my Ravensara from a small harvest company in Canada. It's all organic and ethically harvested. And I usually only sell it to my clients and my Reiki students. But it's just so important for these times that I am going to sell some limited edition bottles of pure Ravensara oil here, because I feel like this Ravensara medicine wants to reach out and reach more people this season. And so I will link that in the description. And the other herbal ally for this eclipse portal would be holy basil, also known as Tulsi. And this is my other fave. It's a sacred plant grown in India, known as the elixir of life. And I love to grow it in the spring. So my seeds of intention this Aries blue moon will probably be planted as holy basil seeds indoors. And holy basil also protects us and gives us a keen focus to just transcend whatever chaos is going on and know your mission in life and how to proceed forward. And if you grow it in your yard, it will protect your home and your family. And it's a powerful adaptogen. It helps us recover from stress, difficult situations, and burnout. And just be sure to stock your apothecary with Ravensara and holy basil for this season, because this solar eclipse in Aries can also just bring up sort of this warrior fighting intensity energy. And it also brings to mind for me the animal, the Wolverine, which we have showing up here in Oregon. It's kind of crazy. Yesterday, as we were hiking around Sisters in Oregon, when I got home, we just happened to watch or hear on the radio coming home that the Wolverine has been spotted in Sisters. And you never know why we have these obstacles or these disruptors. It could be the universe protecting or saving you from a bad situation. And we just could not film in Sisters yesterday. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, all the obstacles. And maybe we weren't supposed to be there, because maybe we were, who knows, we could have been in this Wolverine territory. And I am not scared of very many animals, but the Wolverine really terrifies me. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put a picture here for you, because the Wolverine is such a fierce creature and it invokes a healthy amount of fear. And whenever an animal shows up for me, if I encounter it in the woods or even on the radio coming home, I love to turn to this website that is called What's Your Sign. It's just what'syoursign.com, and I'll link it below. I'll link the Wolverine, because you guys got to check this out, man. I think the Wolverine is the animal of this eclipse portal. And Ava says, Wolverine's meaning is bold and in your face with a fierce confidence that is so Aries. And it's a wildly intense energy that is unpredictable and causes mischievous behavior, this Wolverine will not back down. It will stand its ground. Just like Tom Petty, this Wolverine does what it has to do to live, eat, survive, and maintain homeostasis. And this Wolverine will teach us to accept our own wild nature, out of control, refusing to be tamed. And if you struggle with your dark side, the Wolverine will help you to love your shadows. And if you've had a hard childhood or a hard life, if you've had to scratch and claw for survival or equality, you might resonate with this warrior Wolverine energy that is coming in so strong this eclipse. And it's also a warning to be aware that there is some primal energy afoot this eclipse portal, and it may be lurking nearby, closer than you think. So lock your doors. I mean, this is why I say I like to hide in the closet on eclipses. I'm going to do another video about all the different cultures and what they believed in the past about how volatile eclipse portals are. It's not to be messed with, and you should be just on guard a little bit and protecting yourself, protecting your home, protecting your family. It's going to get crazy, friends. So stay safe, stay focused. You got this. And I'll see you on the other side on my next report, which will be that Scorpio lunar eclipse. It's hitting my entire stellium of 5 planets in Scorpio. Look out. And I'm not nervous. It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll survive, right? I'm going to do this little pendulum energy clearing with some distance Reiki for all of you who've watched. I'm just sending you all this energy. And if you need a little more energy, if you want me to send you distance Reiki, if you want me to send you an energy clearing just for you, just leave a comment down below and I will. And make sure to comment anyways, because you'll be entered to win that full moon astrology chart. I'm only doing these till I reach 1,000. I'm getting pretty close. So if you want to be in it to win it, get in there, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, lots to clear, lots to clear.